Hello everybody, my name is John and this is going to be the start of something beautiful. As Minecraft is always in the beginning, you really have a lot of options on which direction you want to develop yourself and what you actually want to be and create within your Minecraft canvas. I am not a too skilled redstone builder or not too dedicated when it is in terms of any detailing, but I am always very dedicated in this phase of building itself, and due to this I mostly managed to build rather big projects where at least I am quite proud of. And this series will be about my journey in my new world, and I actually hope that some of you follow me along this journey, and hopefully at some point we can have a discussion, and perhaps I also can learn something from you, and I hope to improve on the way. So starting the Minecraft world, I usually start mining a few resources to get myself the first and very basic things to actually create your first pickaxe. And what I will do with this is then gather some stones so that I can go along with stone tools right away. So I don't want to waste too much time, since you also need to keep the time in the eye, because actually when it turns night you actually want to make sure you're not out in the wild anymore, so that you don't get bugged by mobs and don't get killed too easily, because actually this is not a hardcore world, it's just a normal world. I'm using no cheats here, just to make sure everything is legitimate. But also I'm not too skilled when it comes to early battling with no real sword or something like that. And due to this fact, I really want to make sure that I am quite supplied early on to have all the things I actually need. So without further ado, I quickly create a pickaxe and a stone axe. And what I also will do is create the stone sword, since if we find any sheep, we will actually unfortunately have to kill them, so that we manage to sleep through the first night and not have to mine the first night or something like that. So we have been spawned here in an oak forest. We actually also have already some bees here, which is quite nice. And we are surrounded, at least what I've seen so far. Oh, there's actually right a raven here. So that's quite good. Probably remember this. Another bees, a mountain over there. So this spawn actually does not seem too bad. And I really want to make sure to find a few sheep in the first place, so that we can sleep through the first night. So yeah, we have some sheep up here. Luckily, all of them are white sheep, so we can make sure to get right the 3 wool for creating our first bed. Actually, that's it now. That's really good start. And what I will do also here is I will quickly jump into this mine or this cave to gather some coal, our first coal actually of the series, which will come quite handy later. Actually, just now we'll create our first torch, and I will put in my left hand, and thanks to Optifine this will actually light already up my cave a little bit. And then the second thing I want to gather here is iron. Short lag here. We want to make sure to get at least 3 irons so that we can create a bucket, but getting more is better. What we will do with it later on, I can't tell for now, but iron, especially in the beginning of a Minecraft world, is quite important, and you really want to make sure that you get your hand on it as early as possible. So having now 14 iron, that's actually really good at this moment. And yeah, perhaps we will take a little bit more coal so that we can supply our furnace above shortly. And then we will just have a short look out if there's anything quite interesting right around which we want to make use of. Best would be actually a village. So if we can find a village, I would be quite happy. But as you probably know, villages are a little bit rare and you don't find them too easy right away. So let's see whether we can get a little bit higher, perhaps on this hill, and see whether we have any village within these plains biome. But it does not look too promising actually. But either way, I think we are going to start our first base over here in these plains. But actually would also be good if we could find any wild berries. But I think we do not have the right forests around, since wild berries are a very good source for food right early on. Actually, I'm not too quite sure whether we can find it here anywhere. I'm not too confident, no. So I will just simply pass this mountain, it's a big word for this short little hill, and see whether we have anything interesting in the back. And if not, then we are going to start our base here anywhere. Actually some horse over there, more bees, which is always great. I actually really like the bees. I think they have been a really good addition to Minecraft. And also with the honey block, it's so useful. I'm not too good at using it currently, but I really would like to make sure to use it in the future more. And I think these forests in the back there are the ones who actually spawn our wild berries. So we'll quickly run over there and let's see whether we can find anything. Probably have a cut here. In the meantime, while I'm passing all these plains here, I will also make sure to gather some seeds that we can start off our wheat farm in our base right away. I actually really like these here. Oh, there was also sugarcane there in the back. And also make sure to take this sugarcane along our way. It's great. And then we'll search this little forest up there for wild berries. Hopefully we'll get some. And then I will promise one more time we will start with the base right away. Probably only 3 more times in the series, since I'm always quite I'm hard to decide on whether I want to start the base at the current location or not. But probably for the starter base we will leave it actually probably within a few episodes, due to the fact that early on your base locations will not be the best one. And I actually can't see any wild berries here inside. And I'm also starting to starve a little bit, which is not too great. So I really put a lot of hope into finding wild berries up here, which actually was not as successful, unfortunately. But yeah, not too big of a deal, since we have 3 cutlets, which should provide us enough food until the wheat actually has grown, once we have planted it, for sure. But yes, so I think I will go back down there and start our base right in the plains field. Perhaps using this mountain here? No, I don't think so. Not using this mountain. But yes, I think we're going to start our base right here, right in the plains, right next to this tree. So a good base always needs a bed and a crafting table. So it's getting night soon. I just want to make sure to gather some wood while we're waiting. But it's quite sufficient first night. Sweet dreams, first awarding here of our task. That's actually quite nice. So with this I'm going to build our first furnace. And actually, since we just got an apple from this tree, I will actually need it to eat this one. And we will start smelting down some iron ore. Okay. So getting more seeds now is quite crucial, since we really want to start our wheat farm. And also clearing out the space would make it look a little bit nicer and have us, yeah, it actually feels a little bit more cozy in the long run. At least that's my opinion. So now let's see how far we are. Exactly 3 ingots. So perhaps I should even craft it and not only put in. Taking our first water bucket. And what I would also like to do now is we will need doors we are going to need, and we need a hoe. So now let's decide where our entrance shall be, and I think I would like to have our entrance in this direction. So right before our base I want to start our farm. As you probably know, this was very intelligent of myself. I just placed in a torch right after placing the water. So now again, second try. As you probably know, I will simply put this torch out again. One water source actually supplies 4 blocks into each direction with water. So actually quite a lot of area, and you actually really can make use of these fields quite nicely. So yes, with this we already have a good start. This tree only dropped 1 sapling, which is quite sad actually. I hoped that we could get more saplings from this one tree. So I will just shortly make sure to also harvest down these trees in the back here. Hopefully we'll get more saplings. Since 1.16 actually hoes also have a real purpose besides planting down the fields. You can actually harvest those leaves quite fast and probably also get a few drops from it. So I'm just trying to get more saplings this way a little bit faster. Since I also want to start my tree farm right away, I think this is quite a good starting point for us. So with this now 5 saplings, that's actually quite a good supply for the beginning. I will always make sure to place them 3 blocks apart, so 1, 2, 3, and then the first one, 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, fourth. And with this you will get some quite nice grit, which you can harvest down easily afterwards. What I also will do now is I will put our first iron in there. And actually I'm now deciding whether I want to build at least 1 chest. I think 1 chest is really needed. And I'm going to outline the walls of our base. So one direction can have an even number, so that's actually not too important, but the other direction shall always have an uneven number of blocks, since you will be able to put in a door easily and still have it aligned quite nicely. For the outer parts I will use the logs, since I think they look a little bit nicer and give the build a little bit of a structure. But as already said, for these first build we really don't care about the looks too much, since this one actually needs to be functional and not beautiful. So while these things here are growing, I simply grab more wood so that we can finish our starter base. and I actually think I would like to have it as two-story base in the longer run, so I don't bother adding a real roof right now. We'll just add another floor basically. Also, we will need walls and windows. So what we can do while we are gathering more wood here is that we also take alongside this glass here. And it's good if you make glass paint out of the glass right away, since you will actually save a little bit of your glass right away. And actually also for the roof, I'm going to make the roof out of half slabs and not full blocks, since we also can utilize more on the blocks which we are actually harvesting. So yeah, with this I think we actually should have nearly enough resources now to finish the outline of our base. I'll just simply add more logs up here. Perhaps only use them to some extent. And hopefully this is finished. Yes, it's finished. We'll add in now the sand to get some glass. And in order to finish now the base, I will put this one up here. And actually this one should not be there in place. So it actually looks somewhat like the outlines of a house. Then I will add a few walls here and there. And actually, we're down to 28 already. I think we should now already start with the roof line. And as said, I will make it from half slabs, since it actually really helps us saving resources early on. So accidentally crafted exactly the right amount which we need, so that's always quite nice. And now from these glass we already can make ourselves 16 glass panes. I think we will need a little bit more even, but as long as you keep the lower section with glass, you are safe actually at night. But yeah, so we need 3 more glass blocks and I think we can finish up the rest of the hut there. So actually this design is quite modular, as you could expect. We can extend it easily into either direction, and to have it as a starting point I basically added one room here, and later on I will make sure to probably tear down all the walls and expand it even more, and actually also have like entrance to a mine. And this way we can make sure that even if there are thunderstorms or if it's night, we actually don't need to sleep. We can utilize from the time and go also in the mine. So what I also really like to do always is add a little pressure plate right next to the door, since once we enter the room, the door will close automatically behind us, and with this we are quite safe. And if we want to exit it, then actually the door will open right away, which is also quite nice. So we have now 11 iron left. That's quite good. So really good starting point here. We have 5 coal, which is good, and also 6 more in the furnace. The glass currently we don't need. I think I would like to place down the sugar cane and also the remaining wheat seeds. The oak saplings also will help us right away. And these blocks I will keep up here for the time being, and the doors also are not needed at this moment. So yeah, it's actually getting night again, unfortunately. And for the sugarcane, for now I'm not bothering where to place them, I will just simply place them down here. So, before it gets night now, let me quickly resume what we have done now. So we actually have our first little wheat farm here, which is starting to grow quite nicely. And we also have our first starting base here. So with this we actually have quite of a good start for the series, and we actually have made sure that we are now safe in the second night. First night was skipped with the as we slept through it. So now sleeping through the second night, I actually think this is all we have time for today. If you're still listening to me, then I'm really thankful, and really hope that also in future we will perhaps meet on this YouTube channel. And other than that, I wish you all a great day, and with that I'm gone.